Hello everyone, welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today. Mark the Movie Man here, and we are looking at an independent horror thriller with some supernatural flair to it in the form of We're Not Safe Here. It's from director Solomon Gray, giving us the story of Nita, who is dealing with some of her own personal problems and the fact that her friend Rachel has gone missing and no one's seen hide nor hair of Rachel for a while. Well, then one night Rachel shows up on Nita's doorstep and Rachel has to tell Nita this story. It's a dark, disturbing story that not only intrigues Nita but also compels her to look into possibly if there's more to this story than what Rachel is telling. And as the night goes on and the story unfolds, we see how both characters are driven with a purpose, with Rachel wanting and needing to tell the story and Nita needing to find out more details about it. Yeah, this is an interesting, dark, atmospheric horror film that isn't filled with action, but it is filled with the creepy, and there's a lot of great elements that come together to do that effectively. One of them is the cinematography in here. I love the work of the camera in here. You never really get like really wide shots going on in here. You're staying close to not only the characters, but the location that they're in, giving you some claustrophobic feel sometimes, even when they are outside of a building or whatnot. It just, they play with the shadows and such, and it is creepy. And I love that. So the visuals here really help give this kind of claustrophobic feel and keep things close to our main characters. Now, the main characters are played with by two very talented individuals, and their performances are at the heart of this film of really help selling just how disturbing and other things going on horror-wise. We've got Sharmila Bhattacharya, who does great as Nita. I loved her performance in here. She's the connection for the audience. She is witnessing Rachel's story with the audience, and you're experiencing what Nita is feeling, which is this uneasiness, this growing drive, not only to figure out this actual story, but also figure out why there's knocks at the door and other things out of the corner of Nita's eye that are causing her to feel uneasy and just get this more and more creepy feeling with her. And you feel that thanks to Sharmila's performance. You also feel her connection to Rachel thanks to her chemistry with Haley McFarlane, who plays Rachel, who really brings the scared energy, the fear, the drive to tell this story. But also there's something underneath, bubbling underneath the character of Rachel, which you're not quite sure what it is, and it has you kind of leaning towards questioning why she's so driven to tell this story. And I love that. I love the back and forth between Nina and Rachel, and that really helps drive things forward and keep you invested in this. Now, what also helps bring the creepy, and I think is the nice final piece to this, is the sound design brought to us by Joe Stockton and Christopher Duke, who are the sound editors. Post 237 does a fantastic job of giving us old school effects in here to bring the scares, the knocking doors, the creepy creaking floors, the breathing. Who knew just how much breathing could disturb you? But when you're not quite sure what the origin of it is, but you get this POV shot and you just hear this breathing that's not exactly a clean breathing, like there's something wrong there. It's just so effective. And throughout this whole thing, the sound design is its own character and really is that extra element to help just elevate this movie. Yes, there are familiar beats in here that we've seen before, but I think they bring enough to this type of story to keep you interested, give you a few twists and surprises, and it has a very fun ending as well. So yeah, We're Not Safe Here is a great first feature from Solomon Gray. I can't wait to see what Gray comes up with next. Also, check out our interview with Solomon Gray as he talks about what went into making his first feature, as well as some very pleasant surprises that came up while shooting. So thank you so much for watching We're Not Safe Here. Check it out. It's on VOD, I think, at the end of this week, but also select theaters. And if you can listen to it with a great sound system, you should, because that's the best way to experience this movie. So thank you so much for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.